So this week, I competed in a tournament in Portugal where the winner gets a main draw wildcard into the $25,000 event in Castelo Branco. Last week, I showed you how my first two matches turned out. For those of you asking, here's the match point. I accidentally cut out. Sorry about that. I was alternate 6 for qualifying, so the wildcard tournament was super important to win. Also, some of the matches I played were completely insane, so make sure you watch the end. And so after getting back to the hotel, it was time for a quick stretch, followed by some food. I had some protein oats, which I quickly made, because I only had an hour and a half, and a little bit of salad then at the hotel. And then straight after that, it was straight to the court to play my second match of the day. Now my opponent, Miles, I'd actually played a week before in the UK, so I played him at a separate event, which I actually lost in a match tiebreak, so I knew this was going to be a super tight match. Miles plays for Dartmouth, plays number 2 or 3 on the team, which is Division 1 school in the Ivy League conference, and I think his UTR is probably just in the 12s, I want to say, 12 point something. And as you can see, the beginning of this match is super tight. You know, there's a lot of sudden death juices. So for those of you asking on the previous videos, at 40 all, it's one deciding point. And points like this, where Miles gets a net cord, means that he wins the whole game off that 1 point. And so obviously you have to stay super concentrated, super focused the whole time. My aim here was, because it's the second match of the day, my main focus was just going to be to try and come forwards and be aggressive. I didn't want to, use any of the energy I kind of had left just grinding away from the baseline. I don't think that suits necessarily my game. I think towards the beginning of matches, I like to make returns and make balls a little bit more because it gives me some good rhythm for the rest of the match. But I think sometimes it's also just good for me to do what's best for my body as well. As you can see, I got up an early break in this first set, playing pretty dominantly on serve, as I like to play. I felt that the serve was working really well, especially in these kind of hot conditions because the ball was flying through the court. I was picking up some crazy volleys like that as well, managing to consolidate my break. And these 30 all points were crucial because Miles, on all of the 30 all points in this first set, was playing a really, really solid point. And as you can see here, struggling a little bit with the timing and the wind, had a little bit of a mental lapse here, and Miles manages to break back and go 5-4 up in this first set. And so, 40-love game here. Really had to try and consolidate my serve and make sure I don't lose 3 games in a row, because then the momentum will have totally shifted. And that shot there, just travelling along, trying to get it high to Miles's backhand. And another crucial point here at 30 all, at 6-5. Not sure what I was thinking on that drop shot, not very well executed, but I managed to get away with it with the reflex volley. And in this tiebreak, I said to myself, look, let's just be super solid, Novak Djokovic style. He inspired me with all of his tiebreaks, like the French Open. Guy just didn't make any unforced errors, so obviously I didn't want to, not miss basically, but I wanted to play my game and be aggressive and try and minimize the amount of errors that I was giving to my opponent in these tiebreaks, having also won already 3 match tiebreaks and 1 set tiebreak already in this tournament. So I go 6-4 up. Miles puts it into the net, and that's the first set for me. Also guys, if you enjoy this content, help me out on the road to 200,000 subscribers by going down there and smashing that subscribe button. Second set starts off pretty lively once again with another sudden death juice, which Miles takes on a passing shot winner. Just too good from him. And obviously the aim here is to break straight back. There were a lot of breaks of serve in this match, if I'm being honest. Obviously the sudden death juice didn't help towards it, but I think that, a lot of the time we were both kind of struggling to hold our serve. I think the returns were kind of pinging through the court, and because it was quite tough to control, it was almost, if you hit your serve big, it's going to come back bigger kind of thing. Another important point here at 30, you're using my forehand, and a third sudden death juice to start this second set. And again, I said to myself, serve T, big forehand inside out, just missing it wide. And a fourth one here to double break, and Miles makes double fault. I get an opportunity here at 3-2, 40-15 up. Miles puts that ball long. I go up a break, but find myself in a little bit of trouble in this service game. 30-40, my forehand bailing me out of trouble once again. And this sudden death juice point to go 5-2 up pains me. Oh, that is so tough. There's a huge difference between obviously 4-3 with your opponent serving and being 5-2 up with a double break, but yeah, that's sometimes how tennis goes. And this rest of the set was just a fight to try and stay focused and hang on. After a solid serve and volley, we're into a second set tiebreak once again. And I came into it with the same mindset. I wanted to really keep the energy high. I felt like after I got broken, I'd lost a little bit of energy, even though I'd stayed on serve. And as you can see here, getting the fist pump out, really trying to get pumped and getting to my first match point. And there you go, taking the match 7-6, 7-6, a win I was super happy with.
Yes guys, I managed to get the win there against Miles. I played him a few weeks ago and lost in the tie. So yeah, it was a very good win, 7-6, 7-6. I don't make it easy for myself, a few breaks of serve. You know, it was hanging in the balance there. Yeah, the arm's feeling not too bad. It's not as bad as I thought. That's why I carried on with the match. If I win both tomorrow, I've got a main draw wild card, so that could potentially be on the line. Let's just see how it goes. Turn up tomorrow, play my first match, and then see what happens.
This morning, got my protein oats once again. I've had this like 6 times in the last 2 days. And of course, lots and lots of water to keep me hydrated because, yeah, the sweat is unreal during the
Then it was
matches.
time to head to the gym, do a little bit of a physical warm up on the bike, and then do some dynamic stretching before hitting on the court with Lucian for about 30 to 40 minutes just to get a real feel for the ball. I was on at 9:30, so it was pretty early, so I didn't want to overdo it. Just a lot of stuff in the baseline. I knew my first opponent was a bit of a grinder, so he was going to make loads of balls, so I made sure that I felt really nice and comfortable, and then also warming up my volleys because obviously, you know, I might come forward to the net as well, and of course the serve, making sure that it was nice and fluid before finishing with a few points from Lucian. So into the first match with Ricardo. This player was ranked around 1670. He had 1 point, which he actually got like back in Heraklion, where he'd be a really solid player. Obviously after this in the main tournament, he actually qualified by winning both of his matches very, very comfortably. You know, so he was a very, very solid player. And as you can see from the beginning of this match, you know, there's a lot of tight games and tight moments. So I knew that, you know, the first few games just make balls and then find a rhythm, and then really use that kind of pace of his shot to really try and be aggressive with my forehand and get on that forehand side as much as possible. You know, in these first games as well, it's all about you know, making sure that you're not making any unforced errors to let your opponent get ahead. And you know, I was trying to use that backhand angle, which is working really there nicely as well. And yeah, pushing him back on the kick serve because he's literally off the screen with how far he's standing back. So you know, that was always going to be important, that I can keep him back and then come forwards to net and put away the volley. I get first break point here at 2-1. You know, really trying to open the court up laterally and take the ball early on the backhand side when I can. Managed to put a really solid forehand in there and get the break early on in this first set. You know, 3-1 up on serve. I'm feeling very comfortable here. I was playing some really good tennis. I had a lot of matches under the belt. That ball was very, very close to the back of the line. I wasn't sure whether it was in, but yeah, like I said, I was playing super fluidly. I wasn't trying to go too much on my backhand side. Like I was basically playing margins, trying to just keep it up through the centre of the court. Don't really give him an angle, and then look for my forehand side. You know, I wasn't trying to go crazy with the backhand because I didn't want to make the error. And yeah, then finish it off with the forehand inside out. Him playing a good point there and going 40 love up on serve. This was a time where I literally just said, go for it, there's nothing to lose here. And again, just trying to get some volume in on that forehand, really trying to do some damage. I managed to get it back to sudden death juice, so this point decides whether I go 5-1 up, which would be huge. He puts a forehand there, really good on the back of the line. And again, once again, trying to get that forehand into the backhand, run around, go inside out. Decide to go inside out one more time, and right here, go and pull the trigger. And once again, 5-1 up here. I'm 2 points away from the set, playing super freely. I was beginning to get a little bit of fatigue in my arm, which I could feel building up. So I was just monitoring that slightly because, having played 3 matches in 30 hours, I was beginning to feel it physically. And so they're taking the first set. Very solid performance against a strong player. At the time, this guy had a higher UTR than me, so really had to up my level. In the second set, he started off playing really, really strong. As you can see, I'm trying to serve and volley to basically play less tennis, but at this point, I could really feel it in my arm, and I decided to I don't want to say tank the set, but basically just go for some really crazy shots and play super loose, because I didn't really want to contest it from this point, hitting some underarm serves. I knew that the best decision would be to try and play a match tiebreak, because from 2-love down at the beginning of this set, this guy's going to really make me work for it, and I didn't know whether I'd be able to win the tournament, and so this was just a sacrifice that I decided to make. I'm not one to kind of give up and stuff, but I knew to win this match I had to just try and go and play a match tiebreak. He did a good job of obviously closing it out, getting the bagel after I'd given him the breadstick, and now we're into a match tiebreak where it was all gloves were off. It was an absolute grind fest. I wanted to assert kind of the dominance in the tiebreak and win this first point, get off to a good start, not make any unforced errors. Eventually put that ball long, but then decided to go with the serve and volley, getting that little cheeky inside-out volley at 1-all, and it comes to 7-6 on serve here. Tiebreak was super long, loads and loads of tight points, to be honest. I really wanted to get the win, because obviously then I'd be through to the qualifying and with a chance of playing for a main draw wildcard. He puts an unbelievable volley there away to go 8-7 up on serve with a mini break, and so this point is absolutely huge. Winning the point, getting a match point here at 9-8. You can see how tight I am. I didn't really get that tight in all of the other matches, but this was kind of the first time that I was, beginning to push the ball slightly, which I can definitely see. Tried to go with that inside-out forehand before putting that ball into the net, taking it to 10-9, where I have another match point here. Once again, chipping the return through the middle. I'm sorry, this is such tight tennis, guys, but I really wanted to get this win, obviously to play guaranteed in the qualifying draw, and I'll let you guys watch it from here. And finishing with a joke of a volley, having the balls to come to the net definitely paid off, and through to the final of the wildcard tournament.
Yes guys, so managed to clutch it out. What was it, 13-11 or 14-12 or something like that. Tactically there was a lot going on there. So first set I played lights out tennis, played very good. I had no pain, no fatigue, it was awesome. Towards the end of the first and after the set change I had quite a bit of pain in my arm. Just fatigue pain, so it builds up over time, so nothing really to worry about. So I decided to give him the second set, as much as it pains me. I'm not a person to tank or throw away a set basically, but I decided to give it to him to basically preserve my body for the match tie break. And yeah, managed to clutch it out, so I'm super happy about that. Playing the final at 2 o'clock for a main draw wildcard. Me and Lucien are heading back to the hotel now, get some lunch, prepare for the final match of the pre-qualies. Vamos! So we've done a little stretch down. Gonna go in the sauna quickly for about 15 minutes, then head straight to lunch, digest, get on the court, win the final, go through to main draw, or play qualies tomorrow. I'm gonna sit in here for like 5-10 minutes, just try and relax, think about some of the strategies. Excited. He's a Spanish grinder, so he's gonna give it his all, so am I, so it'll be fun to leave it all out on the court.
Gonna keep it pretty simple, just lots of carbs, fruit, stuff that's reasonably easy to digest.
Pre-match, I've put this in here, 3 scoops of that. I've got this for the water that they give me. I've got a banana, and I've also in here got some gels, isotonic gels. Try and have just kind of be sipping on it, the electrolytes and the carbs and stuff, just to make sure I have enough energy. Again, it's going to be a fight for this kind of first set, so really got to try and lock in and make sure that I'm playing some aggressive tennis.
So in the final, I played the seed number 1 of the tournament, Nico. He actually plays number 1 for Denver University, which is Division 1 school. Number 1 or 2, his UTR is around 12.93 at the moment, so definitely the heavy favourite against me UTR-wise. He didn't have any ATP points, but I can confirm that he eventually in this tournament did pick up his first ATP points. I definitely think that he was, a very, very strong player. I kind of seen that his backhand was very strong compared to his forehand, so I knew that I had to really make sure that I was targeting his forehand side more. Also at the beginning of this match, my main aim was just to kind of make balls and keep it through the middle. You can see I'm obviously not pushing the ball, but I'm definitely focusing on playing a lot of balls, making him rally and really get a rhythm for myself more than anything else. Not giving him anything at the beginning of this match. I'd said to myself going into this that I'm just going to hit every ball, the way that I intend to be aggressive. Nico gets 2 break point opportunities here at 40-30 and obviously sudden death juice if he manages to win this point. This pressure early on was really kind of a bit daunting, especially going in as the underdog. You never really want to get broken super early in this match, so I made him play that tough volley, managed to get rewarded and take it to a sudden death juice, and I knew I had to win this one, so tried to, obviously as you can see, get on the forehand as early as possible, come in, serve and volley. He managed to just slip a little bit there, allowing me to win that point and take it to 1-0, and definitely taking a lot of pressure off at the beginning of this match. Another sudden death juice point here at 2-1 on serve. Again with the same mindset, just make loads of balls, make him play, and if I get an opportunity, come into the net. Getting the net caught on the smash, super lucky, but obviously going 3-1 up is great for confidence. I'm feeling good. I was ready for a grind of a match, and obviously Nico's not going anywhere. Always going to fight. He actually goes to the same university as my friend Raf, who I got my first doubles ATP points with. So Raf had told me before that this guy's never going to back down. He's never going to kind of give up, and I could definitely see that. Here at 3-2, I definitely felt the pressure of him trying to push forwards and play some deep balls and really put the pressure on me. I felt a little bit rushed, which I don't usually like to feel on the court. I like to feel like I have time on the ball. But once again, trying to just stick to my guns, stick to what works, which is serve, forehand and volley. I think my backhand today was also very consistent, just making a lot of balls, allowing to change the direction on the shot, and really try and get as much depth as possible because the balls are really bouncing through. Probably like the 5th sudden death juice of the match already, so many sudden death juice points. On this point I kind of just said, let's lock it down, let's move him around, look for an opportunity. I just missed into the net there, giving him the break back to go 3-all. Pretty long first 3 games was a lot of sudden death juices, so it was super close, but it also gave me the confidence that I know that I can win, and that was the main thing. You never want to go into a match feeling like you're outpowered. But I definitely felt like I had a good chance if I can stay concentrated and hit more shots like that, play my tennis.
Let's go, come on!
These games at 4-all and 5-all are always the most highest percentage of breaks happen in those games, so it's very important that I was just absolutely hustling, trying to get every ball back. But he was super solid in these moments. As you can see there, literally trying to slap my forehand as hard as possible on that shot. 30 love down, you haven't really got much to lose, but I managed to get a break point here at 4-all, a huge point. I tried to draw him into the net, make him play the volley, and he misses it long. That's a strategy I've been trying to do a lot on the hard courts, is drawing my opponent into the net. I like hitting kind of passing shots and making them play the volley, so I definitely think that was a strong strategy that I was using. Again there, set point, hits the top of the net tape on the angle, comes to a sudden death juice once again. and Nico just puts it long to take the first set. Now after I've got this first set, I was super confident. All of the pain that I kind of had in my arm, or fatigue, whatever you want to call it, was totally gone. I was just so focused on playing some really good tennis, and I have to say these next few games are probably some of the best tennis I've actually played in the in the last, well, my career probably. Getting a little bit lucky, and that sudden death juice as well gives me a very early break in this first set. Also very good for confidence, and you can literally see the confidence absolutely tanking forehands cross court. But like I said, Nico wasn't going anywhere. He was still making me play some good tennis, which a lot of good players will do. They're not just going to make loads of unforced errors now and lose concentration. They're going to make me try and play some good tennis to keep winning the match. Also guys, I'm going to be posting some of the extended highlights from my matches with a separate commentary for our YouTube members. So if you aren't already a member, go down there and check out some of the perks like that, which I'm going to be posting. When I'm coming into the net loads, I have loads of confidence. Chipping those returns deep to his forehand was definitely working, and you can just see the explosiveness on that forehand, really trying to whip across the ball. 30 love up, it's a good opportunity to try and get 4 break points with the sudden death juice. So I was definitely really trying to hit the ball and trying to just get that 40 love, because if you're a double break up, then you've got a good chance of winning it. I go 40-30. Absolutely commit to the return there, managed to get the double break, and at this point that kind of nerves of losing is kind of going away. It's turning into just focus on winning. I think Nico was beginning to kind of fatigue a little bit himself. He didn't really stop fighting. I think that I played some good tennis, and he obviously made me work for it, as you can see. But I was playing well on the day, I have to say, and I was just hustling for everything, and it was just all working. The pump out there for another breakpoint opportunity. Nico puts that backhand long, just going for a little bit too much at this point, and I'm left here at 5 love to serve it out for a main draw wild card into 25k. It would be my second main draw match of my entire career, having lost last time in 3 sets for the first ATP point. This game was very tight on my behalf. I really wanted to win, of course. Going down 40-30, I said to myself, just keep doing what you've been doing to win points. Another sudden death juice came across, and Nico gets up to it, hits a really good forehand there, putting the pressure on me, which I put long, and I'm getting a little bit nervous here. I know it's only one game, but I really wanted to win this, and just in this game I said to myself, look, make every single return, make every single first ball, and a little bit of luck will come your way like that. Go 4 love up with 4 match points.
Yes guys, so I can't believe I've won that. I think in terms of consistency mentally, to never really give him an opportunity, let my serve down. I played really well, used my forehand. Basically all of the stuff that I've been working on in training paying off. I think I did very well to push through the last few days. Obviously playing 5 matches in 2.5 days hasn't been easy, especially physically for my arm. Now I get 2 days rest and I play again in the main draw with a main draw wild card. How nice does that sound? Obviously I'm not sure who I'm going to be playing yet, so I'm just going to be kind of training over the next few days. I'm going to be showing that training plus obviously the matches that I'm going to be playing in main draw, hopefully getting my first ATP point. If I play like that, I've got a damn good chance in the next video, so make sure that you go down there and subscribe. I think overall I'm super impressed with how I played over the last few days, and there are a lot of positives to take going forwards. I'm going to now go get in an ice bath, get in the sauna, do all of the recovery that I need to do. And yeah, the hard work's paying off, guys. I'm super excited to take you guys along the journey with me. A lot of the last year I haven't won a lot of matches consistently. I think a lot of the time I've kind of struggled to keep my composure in the tough moments, and obviously I think beating someone like Nico is obviously a very, very good player. I was impressed with myself, and hopefully we can kind of carry that going forward onto the next matches. So thank you guys for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video.